Hello boys and girls, this is Mr. So again. Welcome back for another lesson of biology. Before you start watching the video, please remember to first subscribe and like my YouTube channel, and also share this video to your friends and remind them to watch it at home. Do not just rest, learn at home during the holidays and suspension of the school. Today, we are going to start with Chapter 13, Human Reproduction. For Lesson 7, I'm going to start with the human reproduction part of the male first. For Chapter 17, we will first start with the human reproductive system. And of course, we have male and female system. We will first, in this lesson, focus on the male reproductive system. Both the male and female reproductive system, they are very important for making the sex cells, that means the gametes, such as the sperm and the egg, and they are very important and specialized for sexual reproduction. To begin with, let's take a look at the male reproductive system first. We are going to look at the very outmost layer. Alright, so let's start with the bottom parts in here. At the very bottom of the male reproductive system, you see a ball-shaped like structure. We call this the testis, Chinese 睾丸. It produces the sperms, 精子. That means the male gamete, and also the male sex hormone, very important. It is the male sex hormone that makes you grow and looks like a man with big muscles, with facial hairs, etc. And then on the very outside of the testis, you have a layer. This is a layer of skin. It is actually like a little pocket. This pocket, we give it a name called the scrotum, 陰囊. It holds the testis inside. On top of the testis, you actually see a structure. And this structure looks like a cloud, 一個雲咁嘅. And this structure, we give it a name. This structure, we call it the epididymis. So we can spread the word into different parts. Epididymis. So this epididymis, it helps to store the sperms temporarily. 係暫時性嘅啫。暫時儲藏. They store the sperms temporarily. And it also helps the sperm to develop mobility, allow them to grow the tail, allow them to move the tail in these epididymis. And later on, the sperm, they will leave the epididymis and go to other parts. Once the sperms, they have their mobility or motility, that means they are able to move, what will they do? When the time is right, when you are doing the reproduction, the sperm, they are going to move away from the epididymis and go into a duct. We call this duct the sperm duct in here. This is the sperm duct. On both left and right, you both have the sperm duct. And in other words, they have another name. We call it the vas deferens, 輸精管. So I prefer you to learn the word sperm duct, this one, because it's a lot easier to spell. It helps to transport the sperm from the epididymis up to the sperm duct. After knowing the testes, 睾丸, the epididymis, and also the sperm duct, 輸精管, let's take a look at the middle structure in here. This middle structure in here, we call it the penis, 陰莖. And this penis, it is very important for one function, that is for copulation, Chinese 性交 or 交配. And inside these penis, you have the structure. I'm going to draw them in purple. You have both left and right the tissues called the erectile tissues. These erectile tissues, we call it 勃起組織. They also contain the blood vessels inside. When the time is right, when the male and female, they are ready for the copulation, the male, they will have more and more blood go into the erectile tissues in here, in the purple part. And then when there is blood, these erectile tissues will become hard, and it will become bigger as well for the copulation. And then, of course, when the copulation action is doing, the male will put these hard penis back into the female part, the vagina. So it helps to do one important action, that is transfer 傳送 the semen 精液 into the female vagina. Chinese 陰道。Alright, so in this picture here, it shows you the male reproductive part, and I think you can identify what structure it is. On the very bottom part in here, this ball-shaped structure, this is the, you should know, it's the testis, 睾丸啊. And then on top of it, you have another structure, looks like a little bit of crowd on top of the testes. So this one, it should be the, you should get the answer. Is this the epididymis? It helps to store the sperm made from the testes and allow the sperm to grow the tail to develop their motility or mobility, 喐動性、移動性啦. And on the very top layer, this structure at the very top, I think you should identify what it is. This one, it is the sperm duct, 輸精管. So this is the important parts in the male reproductive system.